Now, it is an axiom that you cannot build a successful democracy without a successful economy, and certainly in Ukraine's case, an independent energy sector. Ukraine has tremendous economic potential, but must take concrete steps in several areas, in our view, if it wishes to fulfill its potential. In terms of economics, Ukraine has a large market with vast natural resources and a well-educated workforce. It could attract more foreign investment with a better business climate. It could become a significant contributor to global food security if it made full use of its rich black soil. And it could become much less dependent on foreign energy if it developed its own resources and if it improved energy efficiency. Bilateral trade between the U.S. and Ukraine has grown substantially from a mere $629 million in 1995 to $3.6 billion in 2011. It increased 46% last year alone. However, trade between our countries, given their respective sizes, remains significantly below what we believe is its potential level. We can and we must trade more. Joining the World Trade Organization in 2008 was a real success for Ukraine, significantly opening market opportunities for Ukrainian exports. Unfortunately, Ukraine's economy is less open to imports than its level of import tariffs would suggest. Non-tariff trade barriers remain high, including customs overvaluation and the non-automatic import licensing for certain agricultural products. Finally, the government's failure to refund value-added tax in a timely fashion, if at all, continues to seriously restrict the growth of Ukrainian exports, acting as an implicit tax on exports from this country and facilitating corruption, limiting Ukraine's comparative advantage, particularly in the agricultural sector. Despite its potential, Ukraine continues to rank very low in international ratings on the investment environment and the ease of doing business. This is an area where the government should act now on President Yanukovych's promise to implement real reform and to foster international investment. U.S. and other foreign businesses want to invest in Ukraine, but they face many of the same roadblocks as Ukrainian businesses. These include tax and customs problems, concerns about fair treatment in court, corporate raiders. Although laws to reform the tax and customs codes have been passed, their implementation has been so far uneven at best. We hope that President Yanukovych's signing the new amendments to the Custom Code last week will be a step in the right direction. Ukraine must change the way business is done on a systematic level, reform the tax code, customs code, and commercial law, and not just do it on paper, but in practice. The judicial system must enforce the rule of law for business contracts and effectively fight corruption. The rule of law issues I previously raised also apply to the economic sector. Now, the U.S. has programs in place to assist Ukraine's efforts in these areas, but it's up to the government of Ukraine to make the hard choices that lead to real reform. On financial side, Ukraine needs to reform its budget process and address transparency concerns. This will require tough steps to reform public spending and get back on track with international donors and the International Monetary Fund while protecting its poorest citizens. The energy sector is a key part of Ukraine's economy, and we support reforms that will make it more efficient and attract more foreign investment. With adequate large-scale investments, Ukraine could reach energy self-sufficiency in the medium term. Ukraine's energy usage is much less efficient than the EU, consuming 50% more gas than it actually needs. This narrows Ukraine's economic options, and it's not economically sustainable. USAID is helping with a 3-year program to increase energy conservation and efficiency in the municipal heating sector. Ukraine is a vital energy corridor, and it must be a reliable partner for the rest of Europe. Ukraine's essential gas transit system needs large-scale investment and modernization, which the United States also strongly supports. We are pleased that Ukraine has joined the European Energy Community, which provides the framework for important reforms and strengthens Ukraine's integration into Europe. We look forward to further progress through the work of our own U.S. Ukraine Energy Security Working Group. In February of 2011, the United States signed an agreement to assist Ukraine in developing its unconventional gas deposits, or shale gas as we usually like to describe it. This is a big step forward in Ukraine's efforts to develop its own energy resources and reduce its reliance on foreign partners. Now, we've made slow but steady progress in implementing this bilateral agreement. USAID environmental and regulatory experts, collaborating with Ukrainian counterparts, are now working on how to develop unconventional gas resources in an environmentally sound way. Let me repeat that, in an environmentally sound way. The U.S. Geological Survey will be here in July to explain new cutting-edge techniques for identifying potential unconventional gas resources, which will help provide the Ukrainian leadership with the tools it needs to develop an appropriate policy for those resources. The American Embassy is also working closely with the Ukrainian government, international oil companies, the American Chamber of Commerce, to ensure fair and transparent tenders for the exploration and development of unconventional gas blocks, a necessary precondition to attract the significant capital needed to safely develop these resources. While talking about economic issues, let me just finally mention health. Needless to say, but I'll say it anyway, a healthy population leads to greater productivity and a stronger economy. Ukraine faces a growing epidemic of HIV/AIDS. U.S. aid has agreed with the government on an important new aid program to fight this scourge. We believe this is important not only to make Ukraine more prosperous, but also on a basic humanitarian level.